Hey Gamology, this is Chad Keel from Southern California. I'm a survival instructor from naturereconnection.org. Today, we're going to be reviewing Sons of the Forest. Let's get into it. So we're opening up here, it looks like on a beach, and he has some sort of hatchet with him. And hatchets are great for pretty much everything in survival, so it's a great weapon to start off with in the game. And he's out there just whacking some seagulls. Okay, now he's got a knife of some sort. And he's collecting meat off the seagulls. Actually, first impressions, seeing him grab all these seagulls and whacking them, I'm hoping he's not eating the meat raw, but we didn't see him put anything in his mouth. But I would definitely eat a seagull long as I could cook it. And they're pretty plentiful on a lot of beaches, so I would definitely go out there and be doing the exact same thing as him in a survival situation. And what is this? Like a whale carcass? Oh, it looks like an orca, maybe. You can make some candles out of some oil from some fat from that. So a lot of resources on this beach, which is great. So it looks like you're starting off on a beach with a lot of resources. Here he is back at the orca or some sort of whale, probably collecting or foraging off this. So I don't know if he was shipwrecked or not, but there's definitely some debris. And there's probably going to be debris on any beach you go to around the world, no matter how remote. You're going to find different things washing up, from human populations around the world. Okay, he's got some sort of GPS. That's cool. So he's not just out there completely primitive. He's got some tools with him. And this is my first time viewing this game, so really interesting so far. And that bird is not going to get away. Oh, it did. We're here looking at the toolkit here, and it looks like he just sharpened a stick. He's got a stick that he's making into some sort of spear. We see right there he has a fixed blade knife, which is great. I totally recommend fixed blade knives over any type of folding knife for a survival situation. He's got a hatchet. It looks like it's wrapped in paracord. And that hatchet actually looks like a multi-tooled. And then he's got that GPS, some flares, some medication. So he's starting off pretty strong. And I would be happy to start any survival challenge with the tools this guy has. So he's looking pretty set up. We have the stick, which he sharpened. It looks like he might have fastened together. That could be used for foraging and hunting animals. And then I see he has the hatchet, which we already saw he was clubbing seagulls with. He was opening up an orca with. And then you have a fixed blade knife, which is great because folding knives are really weak. They break. You end up cutting yourself in a survival situation when the dexterity goes down in your hands, when you're weak, tired. So the fixed blade's also a lot stronger. You could put ton wood with it. He has the flares, which could be used for signaling, starting fires, medication for different things that could happen, especially like not purifying water, giardia. I don't know what type of medication he has there, but great to see he has some. He's got some rope up top, which rope could be used for fastening shelters, rappelling down mountains. It looks like he's set up in this kit, and I would be very happy to start any survival challenge with the amount of gear that this guy has.
Nice, we got it.
He is throwing the spear, and he went right through a seagull there. That's awesome. And he's breaking out the fixed blade and cutting out some more meat. That's really cool how you could aim and then throw it on the game. I like that. And then, yeah, he's cutting off probably the breast pieces of the meat every single time. So best parts of the seagull. Is this guy friend or foe? All right, so this seems to be Calvin here. And I think he aids in your survival in the game, which is awesome. Breaks out the hatchet. Oh! This is probably illegal on most beaches, but in a real survival situation, everything's fair game, including the sea turtle. Oh, so he's got the shell. Now we have a vessel that we could hold water in. So that's awesome. Maybe even boil water in. Just looking around. There's probably a lot of meat you could take off that sea turtle. Just messing around in that sea turtle, seeing what other resources you could find. The bones could be useful. The ligaments and tendons can be useful for fastening different types of tools together. So lots of resources on that sea turtle. Never killed one myself, but I can imagine. So far, I'm definitely seeing that this game is, it gives you a chance to really go out there and harvest and forage resources from different animals. And it seems super realistic. It's very entertaining so far. Trying to see what he's doing here. So now it's looking like you could mix different tools together. Like he's taking the duct tape, he's adding it. Not only can you harvest resources in this game, but it looks like you could put different things together and combine them into different things. He just took the rope and some sticks and he made a bow. That's super cool. Because normally in games, you'll just have to find a bow find something separate, but he's actually like crafting. So this would be the bush crafting aspect of your survival. Super realistic. Now he's got a bow. Life just elevated from throwing a stick. We just went a couple 100,000 years into the progression of humanity, and now he's got a bow here. So far, I haven't seen anything like too outlandish, too out there. It's been pretty, realistic. I mean, who knows how long it would take to craft any of these things, but with the kit that he started out with, I think everything's pretty accurate so far. Like, I didn't see how he started the fire. We don't see how the bow was made exactly, but just using our imagination to fill in the gaps, it looks pretty realistic. Plunging the stick into the bushes, never know what's out there. It's all about risk over reward. He just got that mushroom, so in a real survival situation, you really want to be a mycologist to mess around with mushrooms. So unless you really know what it is, you should probably stay away from mushrooms in a survival situation. So that was the first part of the game. I was like, I don't know. And it definitely looked like one of those mushrooms that the shamans trip on. So I don't know if I would have been messing around with that mushroom. Hydration is extremely important in a survival situation. So we see that our character here is in the stream and he's utilizing this resource. In most situations, you're definitely going to want to boil and filter your water. It looks like he's on a pristine island. He's just taking what he can get right here, and he's just going to go ahead and drink it without boiling or filtering it. In most case survival situations, you're going to be found in a couple days. You probably should just drink the water if you don't have any ways of boiling it, because Giardia and other things, they'll take 3 to 7 days until it affects you. So I would definitely say drink the water and don't dehydrate. All right, so here's our first look at our island inhabitants, and now I changed my perspective. With like cannibal, zombie looking things, I would definitely be purifying the water. What if that thing was in the water? It's disgusting. So now he's got these weapons, and we're seeing it's not just for hunting and foraging, it's for killing crazy cannibals. Yeah, thinking of one of those things in the water just freaks me out now. He's probably going to turn into a zombie for not purifying that water. He is chasing this guy down, and he is running on all fours, which is super creepy. It would be so sketchy just chasing this dude through the forest. Now that I understand that there's these crazy cannibals on the island, kind of understand why he's building the tools that he's building. It's pretty realistic, He's out there, he's surviving off the land while fighting cannibals. Pretty impressive. I mean, I don't think anyone's ever been in this situation since like maybe the late 1800s was the last time in Papua New Guinea. But besides that, I mean, no one in the last couple 100 years has been through anything like this. No way, bro. Don't cook it. Man, I don't think he's going to eat it. I think he's just, like, maybe that's the way you finish him off. I don't know. Because now he's a cannibal, too, if he's going to eat that guy. Looks like he's still doing the right thing, eating his oysters and his seagulls. He made a skin pouch out of that guy? I mean, you could totally take skin, smoke it and tan it and make clothing out of that guy. You definitely could. This game is wild. So he just collected the different resources from the burnt guy, it looks like the bones and stuff. And like I said, I mean, he's in a survival situation. He's fighting cannibals. He's got to take everything he can and put it to use. So we cannot judge this guy based off our sheltered lives in our house. This guy is out there living in the Wild West with cannibals. He's got a skull now. Is that supposed to be a club? If that's a club, that's kind of unrealistic because that skull is just going to break apart. For the most part, for what this game is, it's not too outlandish. It's very much he's utilizing resources, he's building tools, he's fighting cannibals. It looks like he's building some sort of fence or barricade. Maybe, he's creating some sort of stronghold for himself here where he can kind of keep these cannibals at bay. Maybe he's making a raft. I don't know yet. We're going to see what he's building here. But you definitely probably want, with cannibals running around, some sort of stronghold where you can go in, shut the door, and know that you're good for the night, Okay, he's out in the forest again. Looks like he's cutting down trees. In most places around the world, there's going to be types of fruits and edibles that are growing. And you would definitely want to take advantage of those. And if you don't know if they're edible or not, there's different tests that you can do by rubbing them on your skin first, see how your skin reacts, then kind of taste testing before actually chewing, and then waiting to see how your body reacts before actually digesting and swallowing. So one of the things I do kind of like is the darkness of the forest. It kind of adds like that spooky, ominous feel to it, which really is great for the cannibals being out there and stuff. But for different forests and jungles that I've been in around my life for survival situations, it does kind of always have that just like covered in the canopy feel, which I think is represented well in the game. And when you're out on the beach, it feels vast and open. And then you get a lot of light on the beach, not currently right now, but you see a lot of light on the beach, vast openness. It has a different feel than when you enter the forest, when you feel a little bit more like you're surrounded by foliage and things can come at you from any angle. Yeah, so the main thing for me before it gets like really dark is to make sure I have 3 times the firewood that I think I'm gonna need to get through the night. And then maybe what he's doing is setting himself up with the firewood and everything that he needs. I don't know if you need to manage your fire throughout the night in this game. Before nighttime, I want to make sure that I have everything in order. I have my food put away in a high spot if there's bears. He has cannibals, so he needs to make sure he's like storing his food well and also make sure he's prepped for the night. Like I said, firewood. Now he's cooking. That's cool. This is the first time we're seeing him actually cook the meat. So this is inside the cabin. Looks like now it's morning. I think that's kind of like a health meter that we just saw that kind of lets you know if you need to eat or what you need and your energy levels. It's crazy how far these games have come along. And that's a good representation of what morning feels like when you wake up in the dirt. All right, everyone, that was Sons of the Forest. So get out there, get the game, and go battle some cannibals. And if you want to see more Gamology videos, make sure you check them out on YouTube and Facebook. Find me on Instagram at Mr. Chad Keel. We'll see you in the forest.